Hello aspirants, I am Indumati Karthikeyan from InKar IAS Academy. Today we are going to see about the 23rd November current affairs. The topic is urgent deadline, that is comes under the topic of GS3, conservation, environment, pollution and degradation. And this topic taken from the editorial 2, that is a context it's regarding to the G20, which poverty and climate change must be tackled urgently. That recent G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro aimed to address the global hunger, poverty, climate justice, despite of the Brazilian president Lula da Silva call for taxing the wealthiest to combat poverty. The summit focus was diluted by global conflicts. The global south continues to push stronger actions and governance in the policies. The overview of this summit will be mainly focusing only on the hunger and poverty. So it's a very significant move from the G20. But we need to tackling some global hunger and poverty by G20 summit goals. That is tackling these hunger and poverty and promoting climate justice were declared goal to be recent G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro. There is a presidential call from the Brazil, that is Lula da Silva called poverty a scourge that shames humanity, asking the gathered nation to implement the policies such as taxing the super rich using the 2% wealth tax on the world's wealthiest to generate more than 200 billion in revenue. There is a G20 declaration, but the G20 declaration fell short in that. There is a global south concern perspective. There is a prime minister Modi's statement that um, to understand that the problems in the world felt most actually in the by the global south, and therefore the reign of the global administration must belong to those that represent the larger majority in the world. And also G20 host and focus must be in this, that is the G20 host, the hosted by Brazil was the third host country in the global south after Indonesia in 2022, India in 2023. Next summit location, the next G20 is in to be in South Africa. There is a focus on Brazil summit was expected as focus on the solution of the poorer, and also there is a emerging economy. There is a external factors impacting the summit, that is diluted focus. However, its timing diluted the cost diffused with focus, and also given the other issues of the world conference, and also there is a context of the global conflicts. That is a there was a G20 summit since the October 7 attacks of the Israel, and also the Gaza and Lebanon. There is a Ukraine conflict also. It's one of the major reasons, that is invasion. Russia invasion of Ukraine had also been a forgot consensus under Bali in New Delhi already quite difficult. The G20 declaration on conflict may be will deepening polarized narratives and also over both conflicts. This deep concern over the humanitarian situation in Gaza, and also dropping the reference to Russia while highlighting the suffering with regard to global food and energy security. It was the devoid to specify on ending the conflicts. There is a climate justice and financing. The COP19 timing the G20 was timely closely with the COP29 in the Azerbaijan. Brazil will be in 2025 host, indicating the issue of the climate finance and also the climate justice, which have been raised of developing world would find place in the G20 declaration and then feed into the crop process. The US election also influences the summit followed just after the US presidential election result casting and also its shadow. There is a Trump impact also there. There is a move during the first tenure. Donald Trump will not set such much more by the aspiration of the global south, nor is likely to expand kind of resource of expected from the US towards the tackling global warming or in the curtailing the exploration in the fossil fuels. And also the cabinet as climate Denise and his own campaign slogan was Drill, baby, drill. Finally, what we conclude from this G20 is a global South leadership that uh, quartet the Indonesia, India, Brazil, South Africa will have to ensure that the next G20 is able to concertize to concern the developing world and set out of path of the future in poverty and hunger, climate change, and also there is a global governance in 2026 as a G20 will return to the US. The deadline is more urgent. Thank you so much.